What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Jaime Munguia versus Sergiy Derevyanchenko, and this was a 12 rounder for the vacant WBC Silver Super Middleweight World title. And this fight was Saturday, June 10th from the Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. And this fight was broadcasted on DAZN. And in this fight, let me just say it first, it was a phenomenal fight. Big respect to both fighters, especially Derevyanchenko at 37 years old, going out there and putting on an amazing show. I think this fight could have went either way, but I don't think the scorecards were wrong at all. It was a very, very close fight, came right down to the wire, where Munguia pulled it through in the last two rounds, scoring a knockdown in the 12th as well. I had a 114-113 in favor of Jaime Munguia. He improves to 42-0, and Derevyanchenko drops to 14-5. But I mean, when you look at 14-5, it looks like a terrible record, but he's in a phenomenal 14-5 that would beat a ton of guys with much better records than that in the middleweight division. But yeah, the judges had this fight 114-113 twice and 115-112 once. I completely could agree with those scorecards. I could definitely see that 7-5 for Munguia. Obviously, I had it 6-6 with the knockdown. So yeah, I mean, Derevyanchenko's team did push for this fight to be 12 rounds. Munguia's team wanted it to be 10, and I gotta say, Derevyanchenko's team is definitely kicking themselves after this one, because he would have won this fight, I think so, if it wasn't for the last two rounds, especially on the judges' scorecards, because Munguia won them clear, and that means that Munguia probably would have lost like a 96-94 type decision after 12. But just to delve in on my scorecard, I gave the first round to Sergiy Derevyanchenko. It was a phenomenal round. Both of them were exchanging like it was like rock'em sock'em robots in that first round. But I thought Munguia got hit with the worst shots. It was a phenomenal round, though, so I gave it to Derevyanchenko. Round two, Munguia was landing some big hooks and looked like a nice bounce back round for him, as Sergiy Derevyanchenko was trying to ease into the fight more. Round number three, though, I gave Derevyanchenko the round because he landed some nice, very big hooks and right hands coming forward. I mean, the thing Derevyanchenko was doing so well was smothering Munguia. Munguia is not a good back foot fighter. When he was pressing in there, throwing hooks, trying to clinch, trying to use his strength, because even though Derevyanchenko is a small guy, he's a very compact and very strong fighter in that sense, and he was able to sort of muscle Munguia on the inside, especially in that third round. Then in the fourth round, I gave it to Jaime Munguia because I thought he was doing better. I guess you could say instead of trying to exchange with Derevyanchenko, he was trying to jab, trying to land 1-2s on the outside at mid-range, and I thought he won that round pretty clearly. Round number five, however, I gave it to Sergiy Derevyanchenko. It was a massive round for him. He was hurt with a big, I believe it was a left hook. He was really hurt. This was the most hurt I've ever seen Munguia ever. Like, when I say he's hurt, I thought he was going to get stopped in that round. He got tagged with a very good hook, like I said, got jumped on by Derevyanchenko. I mean, jumped on. I thought he really was going to get stopped in that round, but it was a big round for Derevyanchenko. Then in the sixth round and the seventh round, I gave them both to Jaime Munguia. There was a very good sequence for him because he was able to sort of neutralize Derevyanchenko's work. And just like in that fourth round I said before, he was able to sort of land shots at mid-range and sort of just keep him at bay with a jab. Then rounds 8, 9, and 10, I gave them all to Sergiy Derevyanchenko. He was on his feet, he was on his toes, moving around the ring. He looked really, really good in those rounds. And he was landing some nice shots at Munguia, landing the better shots. Munguia wasn't really doing enough, so I gave those three key rounds to Derevyanchenko. Then round number 11, it was kind of close, but Munguia landed slightly the harder and better shots. But then the 12th and final round, Jaime Munguia turned on the accelerator and landed a massive uppercut to the body of Sergiy Derevyanchenko and dropped him to his knees in the 12th and final round. He needed that knockdown. Props to Munguia for really having a killer's instinct in that 12th and final round, knowing that he was in jeopardy of losing this fight or getting a draw or something like that, putting a blemish on his record, but he landed that big uppercut to the body and really got the job done, sealing a 10-8 round to get the judge's decision. If you did watch this fight, comment down below how you did score it. I would imagine that it's like 114-113 either way, because I definitely could see a 6-6, or excuse me, a 7-5 in favor of Derevyanchenko. I could see 7-5 either way or 6-6. It was a really, really close fight. But this goes into question, what is next for Jaime Munguia? This was definitely his toughest fight by far and his best opponent. A very solid win, but obviously Derevyanchenko was giving top tier middleweights tough test a few years ago. And now at 37, Munguia really, on paper, based on how he was being hyped up, he should have done better than this. But maybe it's just a sentiment to how good of a fighter Derevyanchenko is. I know he didn't look that phenomenal against Joshua Conley in his last fight, and he did lose to Carlos Adames, but, I mean, Munguia's got to really work on his defense, especially when he's fighting backwards, because it was just not working well for him, I'm going to be honest, in this one. But for Munguia, he's now 42-0. I mean, if he fought Derevyanchenko here, I'd obviously want to see him step it up and fight someone else in the top 10, or just someone else that's high ranked in the middleweight division. So really, I don't really know what name that could be, because right now a lot of these middleweights aren't fighting each other. But I mean, for Munguia, I really think in his next fight, I don't think he's going to face someone better than Derevyanchenko, because that's what Munguia does. His past couple fights, he's really fought not really high level fighters. I mean, he fought Demetrius Ballard, he fought Coria, like no names, literally no names. No disrespect to those fighters, but compared to guys in the top 10, they're really nobodies to them. So, I mean, Munguia, he really has to step it up, but I don't think he is in his next fight, especially after a really tough war like this one against an aging Derevyanchenko. But as for Derevyanchenko, 14-5, 10 KOs, 37 years old, still putting on an outstanding performance like this at 37. I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's probably going to fight till he's like 39 or 40, especially if his body holds up, because he's been doing this for a while. But I think that Derevyanchenko, I think he'll get in the ring with someone around that level of like Joshua Conley, like probably on a PBC card, and then maybe he could get put into a very high-profile fight after that one, possibly putting him in the spot for a world title fight, which he has really sought after his entire career. So overall, Jaime Munguia gets a razor-thin unanimous decision victory over Sergiy Derevyanchenko. In the end, Munguia's knockdown in the 12th round sealed the deal, as I thought he won by one singular point to get the best victory of his career. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.